Michael, you're 78 offensive rebounds. That's obviously a lot of 1-2. What else is that?
I think just putting myself in the right positions. A lot of times, you got to get to the weak side, things like that, and then having guys like, Big Jordy and Ed in there obviously helps because they'll take up a body or two. And then, like I said, I just try to get myself in the right positions. I try to stay, around the rim, on the rim, and coaches have done a good job of putting us in the right positions to where, at the end of a play or end of a shot clock, I am at the rim. I don't have to run in from wherever 30 feet like some guys do. But, no, it's been good, and I've tried to, make it an emphasis of my game. So.
He also does a good job, and he did in high school, too. He had big physical guys playing football at some smelly school. And he plays very well off another big guy. Just kind of reading and reacting off the situation, those kind of unscoutable plays, where, Ed might be into a move or Jordy, and he sees a seam or sees a weak side or a weakness to go attack and really does a good job. I think it's causation versus causation. Fluoridation. What was it? Correlation, yeah. I mean, how do you even know that? You took stats 3 times?
Well, because I flunked it the first
Okay,
two,
okay.
that's why.
Yeah. Thanks. I would have known.
Mike, you've played a couple games against Wisconsin now in your career. What do you kind of expect out of them, and how do you approach getting ready for them?
Obviously we expect a really good team. They've got a lot, they got 4 seniors leading them, guys who have a ton of experience, have played in Final Fours, Elite Eights, and, they know how to win. They know how to get it done, and they're obviously rolling right now. I think we talked about it yesterday, but they haven't lost a game since November or something like that. Yeah. So, obviously a really good team, and they got a lot of skilled guys. Ethan Happ, who is contending for Big Ten Player of the Year, which is impressive. And then, guys like Bronson Koenig, who can score the ball, and Nigel Hayes, who is doing a good job for them this year and filling multiple roles, being real versatile. So, yeah, we're just, expecting a typical Wisconsin team, I guess.
Did you see Hap on the AAU circuit?
I saw him a couple times, yeah. He's a year older, but yeah, so.
He redshirted, right?
Yeah, he redshirted his first year, but yeah, I did see him once or twice, yeah.
What's the challenge or what do you embrace about the task of trying to defend, a guy that's had as much success as Hap's had this year?
Well, I'm hoping Jordy and Ed handle most of that, but no.
Honesty.
Yeah, he's. I think you just kind of have to prepare. Similar to like Purdue, maybe. With those 2 skilled bigs, and obviously, he's a guy who can score in a lot of different ways. Really crafty around the rim, uses his his body well, uses ball fakes, things like that. So really skilled player, and just he works hard all the time. You see him, he gets his hands on a lot of balls, rebounds, steals, everything like that. So you kind of got to prepare for a little bit of everything. And I don't know, we've got some different game plan things in mind that we're going to try and use to counter what he does. But obviously, really good player. So.
You said it's easier for you to work off when there's another big on the floor, crashing the boards, getting some cleanup rebounds and stuff like that. Are you kind of making that your game, or do you want to stretch the floor a little bit more as a forward?
Obviously, I want to stretch the floor a little bit more, but I haven't shot it well, so that makes it difficult to stretch the floor when you don't really make shots. So,
and so Mike and I just sat down, and Mike's like, Coach, about Christmas or whatever, and we just said, let's just settle in at 17. When you change your body like he does, and now you change positions, and everything changed. Mike's more than capable. We go out and we shoot and practice, and he does very well. But I think as he gets used to, carrying his weight and doing all those things, that's something we can expect in the future. But right now, he's doing what's best for the team, and I think that says a lot about Mike.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where I was looking like, how can I help us out more, be more productive, because obviously it wasn't going well, and hopefully that's something, something I got to work on, in the offseason. Obviously not right now in the middle of the season. We're not going to add that. So it's one of those things where, I would like to stretch the floor more, but it hasn't happened that way. But I definitely want to be able to play off another big, just because I think it adds to the versatility of what I do. So if I can play off a big as well as stretch the floor in the future, that's something I'm looking, to be able to do. But for right now, I'm fine with being able to just, play off Ed or Jordy or somebody who's in the middle like that, and, move counter, and find, my little niche or wherever I can get my buckets or rebounds or, things like that. So.
Michael, you guys pulled the rug out from under Purdue here a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Got another one of those in you, and what could that do this season?
I mean, I sure hope so. But no, I think we just try to prepare each game. Take it one game at a time. We don't try to think too far ahead or too far behind. Like, oh, we beat Purdue, so yeah, we should have beat these guys too. But you just got to look at it. Each individual opponent is different, and I think if we did happen to win tomorrow, it would be huge for our season. Obviously, we're coming down to the last little stretch here, and maybe we're not exactly where we want to be. But I think if we did manage to win, it would be a huge help, a huge, confidence booster type thing against, obviously your top 10 team. So, I mean, that does a lot for your program, I think. And, I mean, it would just, like I said, help us with confidence coming towards, postseason and everything like that. And these last 6 games, which are going to be tough against some really good teams too. So.
Mike, one game here in a 9-day stretch is nice to kind of have a little break to kind of catch your breath and regroup because you kind of get ready for the last stretch here.
Yeah, I think so. And, I think it's been noted that we've got some guys banged up, so it is good to, maybe get a little bit of a break here. And I think it's also good just to break up the rhythm of, playing every Thursday, Sunday, or every Wednesday, Saturday type deal. It's good to, that way too, and guys can, like I said, get healthier, work on their little nicks and bruises, and also, work on their games a little bit, get better, improve some things that haven't gone as well. It gives us practice time, which is really helpful, I think, in the last part of the season here when you really need it. You need to kind of figure out, what's been good, what's been bad, and, some new things you can implement, stuff like that. So, I think it's a big help for us.
Anything else for Michael before some back to conference?
What's going on with this mustache?
Yeah. Is that, did you borrow your middle school sister's eyeliner? What is that?
No, I've actually gotten a few comments about it today that it's not as impressive as I thought it was. But, and, I'm trying.
Don't you love these guys' perspective?
I don't know, just trying to change the mojo a
Can I see
little bit, I guess.
I think you let it ride.
Go like short shorts too?
I'd let it
I
ride.
might. We're going throwback. I think it's throwback unis tomorrow
Is it?
too. So yeah,
Let it ride, baby.
I think yeah.
You need tube socks, tall tube socks. Too.
I'm with it. Whatever you guys got.
Sorry.
It had been a
I like how the guy with the
no, yeah.
Same amount of time it took you.
It's been a work in progress. It's been a work in progress for a little while now. So I'm glad it finally just came in.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
guys.
free throws.
Yep.
I'm glad you asked it so I didn't have to.
I noticed right away.
I was just like, I got him up here and I'm like, oh.
Well, kind of has to do the same thing. One game in 9 days. Is that a good thing for you guys at this
Well,
point of the year?
I like to play, because I like to play. So when you look at that, he's right. We do need to get healthy, and so that's been a big thing. Even him, he got hurt early in the Iowa game and played through it, and so he's had some good rest and been able to get on the floor for us. And there's a whole bunch of guys that aren't 100%, but we're just kind of feeling our way through it. As far as the injury report goes, Lee, Ed's day to day, right? So, yeah, no kidding. So, and so is Glenn. And so we'll just find out, what's going on that way. But Michael play. They've been in practice.
run up and down the floor.
Well, you want to know everything? Yeah, they practiced. Ed practiced.
Is Jack playing better defense? Has he been playing better defense?
Jack is a great help defender and a great communicator. So he's not a fleet of foot, right? He's not the most mobile guy you've met. But you watch, and one of his jobs, and this is a Coach Molinari special, by the way. Coach Mo's got him on the raise of the arm. Jack is back. He's in the middle lane, and he is our communicator. He's our quarterback, pointing and talking guys through transition. So he'll say, Glenn, ball, Ty here, and does a really good job with that because you need a guy back there that's going to talk, and we've got some nonverbal guards. Evan does a pretty good job, but Evan is, pretty good athlete, so I'll send him on the rim some, and then we'll don't always send Jack back, but, when he is back, he does a very good job of organizing people.
Could you have done that last year?
He did some. Yeah, he did.
But for him offensively, it seems like, at times he's been kind of stuck as, it's like there's a fence around the three-point line. And now it seems like he's been more agile, more able to.
I think that rides with his confidence, you know. I think when he's low confidence, you go back to what you know you can do best. So he just hangs around the three. And when he's got confidence, you know, against Iowa, he made, you know, right-hand floater, pull-up J off the glass, left-hand hook, you know, just, you know, a few threes, got an offensive rebound. You know, I think he showed what he can do. And, you know, this summer there was times he did that a lot. And, yeah, but the throw, you know, the rigors of a season, you know, are difficult on guys, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, or whatever. And so I like to think that, you know, he's put those tough times behind him, and we're going to see that kind of Jack. If you remember last year when Siobhan Shields was out about this same time, he played really well too. And we really needed that out of him.
With a lot of injuries piling up, does that affect the team mojo, or have they kept a pretty good attitude throughout?
Well, there's no doubt the morale suffers, you know, with injuries. You get out there and you got 6 guys to practice, you know, some days. And guys notice that, and they're like, whoa, you know. And so while they're sitting in film, they don't always notice, and when they're hanging around, but you get on the floor, and all of a sudden it's, oh, geez, okay. We'll play 4 guards. We only have 4 guards. So, you know, it kind of crystallizes for them. But, you know, I mean, I've met individually or in small groups with a lot of almost everybody on the team in the regular rotation this week, and I think it's been good for us. So those meetings are always good. I think, and that's one thing we can do this time of year too, with more downtime, not playing as many games. You get a chance to carve out, you know, an hour for this group and an hour and a half for these guys. And, you know, I met with Ty today at length, probably an hour, 15 minutes. And those are always good meetings.
With Ed specifically having gone through this last year, kind of being day-to-day, and how has he handled it?
Well, it's hard. You know, he wants to get out there and help the team. Ed's a winner. He's proven that in high school. And he's he's our toughest guy. So, you know, the tough guys don't like to be hurt. They don't like to show any weakness. And so I know Ed's dying to get out there, and we'll just see, you know, how things go. It's more about game time, Lee.
Jordan progressed at the rate that you thought? I mean, what was your vision for him at this point in the season?
I think he's done nicely in the Big Ten. I mean, there's not a lot of freshmen that come out and just get better and better and start to demand a double team and those sorts of things. There's not many true freshmen that have been doing that. And the guys that have, they're talking about are guys that are all league or this or that or the other thing. So I think he's hitting his stride. I think there's going to be a new set of challenges and circumstances that come up as we see different opponents and game plans. For instance, you know, if he's posting up ISO on the block, are they going to double team? Well, now that's a new deal for him. So, which is why we play plenty of screen and roll. So we can, you know, it's hard to double team him off a screen and roll. So I think you have to have a variety of ways to get him the ball.
Showing these guys film of the Big Ten tournament game last year.
That's tomorrow. Right before game time. No. We're just going to surprise them. Hey, remember when we won a game?
You always want to execute your plan, but against a team like this Wisconsin team.
I think they've only lost 3 games since they lost to us, haven't they? 2 or 3? But you were going to say? Just
Extra. I mean, it's to beat them, you have to.
Well,
you
yeah,
have to
that's
do
what.
your thing,
Yeah.
right?
So, good question. You have to beat Wisconsin. I mean, you don't have to beat everybody. If you look at the recipe for winning, the first thing you do is eliminate losing. And sometimes, you know, if you're standing on the baseline in a tennis match and you just keep it in play, that other dude just hits it out of bounds or hits it in the net and you win the point. Same thing in basketball. If you can just eliminate losing, you can win a whole bunch of games, right? Not against these guys. I mean, you have to have the full gamut of the recipe. You have to eliminate losing on your end, right? You have to take away their strengths. And then you still have to have your players making plays, or you don't beat them. Last year, Shields was really good down the stretch against them. We played like maniacs on defense. We really did a good job on our 3-point defense, if you recall, I believe. And somebody else made some plays too. I forget if it was Ty or who, but who? Oh yeah, Benny. which was great, you know. I mean, so I mean, they made plays. So not only did we take away some of their strengths, and we really had a sharp game, but Benny and Siobhan really made big time plays, and that's what it'll take tomorrow. Who's going to do what? I don't know, but I know the first two, we have to really play a clean game, and we have to do a great job on what they do well, and they put it in the paint as well as anybody, and they make threes as well as anybody, and we know, you know, where we're at with that.
Giving away your game plan, how have other teams scored on Wisconsin? You know, they play pretty good defense.
I guess I haven't concentrated that much on how other teams score on them, because what Wisconsin does is what Wisconsin does. So it's not like they change a lot from opponent to opponent, and which is a great strength of theirs. You know what you're getting, which is great quality, if you're buying leather goods. But what you're doing is playing one of the best teams in the country, right? And you've got great quality in these guys. You know exactly what you're getting time and time and time again. I mean, these guys are rock solid. They're not going to let anything easy at the rim. They don't give up a lot of threes, and they make you take tough twos. So your job is to get away from that. They kind of let you flirt with it. You kind of feel like, oh, now I'm open to this pull-up jumper, and pretty soon you're, 8 for 42 on mid-range twos, and that's not very good, So you can't fall in love with that, that tough shot.
Happened tough, obviously, for them all season. What we talked to Mike about the challenge of that he kind of embraces. What do you guys focus on, in terms of his success and what you need to do?
He's super crafty. I mean, we've got a clip of him against Illinois where he catches it in the block, kind of in the just above the block. He catches it like he's cutting right at the midline. And there's two guys going to converge on him, one guy behind him, and another guy kind of right behind him. He ball fakes, three guys separate like they're, mice chasing cheese. And he just goes up into a little jump hook and scores it, and with all the room in the world, just one little ball fake, And Wisconsin does the little things like pass, catch, fake, footwork. Like Nigel and Ethan's footwork is tremendous in the block. They play in balance. They score. Just about the time you think you got them, walled up, they just win a little more pivot for a reverse layup. And now I would also say Ethan's supporting cast is outstanding. When you look at what Vito Brown has made himself into a player, Bronson Koenig is a really tremendous playmaker. Showalter makes shots, and he's a he's a star in his role. And then of course you got Nigel Hayes, and Gardo still runs about 6 other guys out there. So they've got a real strong supporting cast too. Anything else for the coach?
Besides getting healthy, what is how does Glenn? In what ways do you want Glenn to go to the next level? I guess. I
think his assists have fallen off too far in the last 5, 6, 7 games. So creating for others is one of those things. I think in-game adjustments for Glenn mentally, like how he handles. Let's say he sees a certain defensive coverage he doesn't like. Don't dwell on it. Figure it out. Figure out what the next winning play is. And Glenn will tell that to you, which is, like I say in these individual meetings and stuff, really I'm repeating what Glenn says. So I know that's what he believes. And I know that's what he needs to get better at, too.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thanks.